Hello. Today we will be exploring how scientists use co-production to address climate change with Indigenous Alaskan communities. But first, we need to understand some things. What is co-production? In a simpler sense, co-production is when scientists cooperate with Indigenous communities to produce information. A more complex definition could be understanding that the ways in which we know and represent the world, both nature and society, are inseparable from the ways in which we choose to live in it. This means that as humans, anything we do directly impacts and influences the environment, and vice versa. Next, let's explore the scientific issue. This is seen through both climate change and pollution, which challenges Indigenous access to nutritional and culturally significant food sources in Alaska. This is seen through retreating sea ice, coastal erosion, changes in the weather, and also pollutants and algae blooms, which make it unsafe to consume certain marine resources. To understand this, we need to know more about Indigenous people and also how these issues arise. Indigenous voices have often been silenced by society, and co-production gives them a voice. People in Alaska want food sovereignty and security and highly depend on the ocean to provide their resources. Unfortunately, human activity causes a lot of the damages to the climate. This includes the cruise ship industry, which dumps gray water into the ocean and pollutes it, greenhouse gases, which increase global warming, and also trash and garbage in the ocean, which eventually make their way into the food sources of Alaska. Because of this issue, there are many environmental, cultural, and economic implications. The environmental implications are directly related to pollution, sea ice reduction, and declining seafood populations, which make these resources inaccessible or reduce their harvesting time, as seen in the graphs on the right. The cultural implications are directly related to food sovereignty. As these significant food sources are less accessible, these communities struggle to keep their cultural practices alive. The economic implications are related to an increased reliance on market foods, which are both low in nutrition and energy dense, and do not fit the lifestyle of these people. Also having to transition to alternate transportation methods such as snowmobiles to boats, which is quite expensive and a lot of these communities cannot afford it. So what are some solutions and what could we do to help? First and foremost, Indigenous people are continuing to use co-production to voice these climate change issues. They're also educating and outreaching to their community to talk about how to preserve resources that are still available, communicate about health priorities and methods such as avoiding these toxic marine foods, and also building awareness and getting people involved, which will make change. But what can we do? Well, we can first reduce our carbon footprint, which will mean less greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. We can also be aware of our resource use, such as are we supporting these cruise ships that are dumping pollution into the oceans? And last, we can utilize carbon sinks, such as planting plants and trees, which will remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere.